Welcome to the Be More podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I'm Brittany.
I'm Maria, and today we're just gonna wing it again.
We're gonna riff on.
There's no set agenda.
I wanna open up with a question because I was thinking about this week.
Okay.
I want to open up with two questions. One's gonna lead to the other one.
I'm scared.
Do you feel like there are? Okay. Have you ever thought about like the things that you like and like the styles that you liked and like how they connected to old generations or like old decades and been like, oh, I should have lived during that decade?
The fashion in the 90s was great. Why wasn't I a 90s kid? Like these like Gen Z people, like all this shit. Like, or like, oh, the 70s were great because X, Y, Z. Why wasn't I living then?
Yes.
Do
you ever have that?
Not really. Honestly, to be quite honest, I think like I'm pretty good this generation, honestly. Why do you? I guess you do.
All the time. Literally all the time.
Generations.
So I feel like I don't fit in with what's happening right now.
No.
Like I feel like
that I know.
Because of my disproportioned relationship and slight disdain toward technology, I feel like like I like it, don't get me wrong, like yay, it does great things for us, but like I feel like I would have liked living in a time where we were like less technology.
Yeah, I can see that too.
And then I think about my taste in music.
So old school.
And like how much I would, and like, well, thankfully, I mean, like, well, I will say this too, like my parents are from an older generation.
Yeah.
Right. So, and like I grew up listening to like a lot of the music from the 50s and the 60s because that was what my parents listened to, and that's what they loved. Like that's what they loved. And then I also like the and I feel like what was happening for like women.
Yeah.
Like earlier, like so, like I feel like I I wasn't supposed to be in this century. If that sounds like I wasn't supposed to
be part of like a revolution.
I feel like my being would have been so just happy and flourished if I could have been like literally my parents' decade, I guess. If I could have grown up in the 50s and the 60s, because then I would have been such a love child as a teenager. And the 70s, the disco era, like all the dancing, and then 80s, like the big hair and the like rock music. Like that was it. Like that was
that seems like a good No, that seems like you. Like if you grew up, that seems like
all of the the levels and the depths of who I am as a person perfectly fit into each one of those decades.
Yeah, I didn't really think I fit into any other decade. I think that also couples with like the fact that my parents emigrated here, so like
that's true.
Like that's a whole other layer that like, all right, if they didn't come over here, I'd be in the Philippines. And like, do I want to be over there? Like in the
that's true.
The other decades.
Yeah, I guess that's a big thing that ties me to it. Is like my parents really like lived through it, so like I constantly get connections and stories about it. And like the thing that always makes me think about it is like literally my hair.
Okay.
Because I'll look at how big and poofy my hair is, and I'm like, oh, this would have been great hair for the 80s. Or like I just cut my hair, and I was like, oh, my hair would have been perfect for the 50s.
Seriously, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I have those moments where I'm like,
I should be in a different.
What would have happened? And now we're gonna do a flashback to like black and white of what Brittany would have been like living through the 50s.
Oh my god, can you? My editing skills are not that good.
But I was curious. I was like, I wonder if anybody else has this. But it makes
no. I mean, people do. I'm sure. Like you see it all the time on the internet. On like, just people randomly want to be in different decades rather than this one. So,
I mean, I feel like we do it so much in like the fashion world, but
I
was like really super thinking about like what would it have meant and how would I have like related and what would have life have looked like.
Been like.
Yeah, but I think what you said definitely makes sense, right? Like I had such a strong connection to those decades because of my parents.
Yeah.
And like the American, like what was happening in America during that time. But like how would you have that connection, or why would you even think about that if like that's not your experience?
No, I'd be living in like rural Filipino provinces or something if I lived like in my parents' like decades. Just like, so I think I'm pretty good here.
Yeah, solid. And not to say that like I am not grateful for the life that I have, but it's just something that I'm
Right.
always like, because
But,
so
like,
much so much
yeah.
happen. I mean, not to say that there's not a lot happening now.
There's a lot happening right now.
Like there's a lot of important things happening now, but I feel like that was the period, especially with like music and like pop culture. Like that was when everything was defined, and
Or,
like
like, being invented, I guess.
yeah, like that like was like the renaissance of like culture.
Music. Yeah.
And like so many of the things that like have really just been like repeated now in our society. Like have you heard those like terms where it's like that was like everything now is just going to be a repeat of like what happened?
Yeah, like 90s fashion is coming back, you know, it's just a cycle.
Which I don't understand why, but it's fine.
What was your second question then?
Oh, I guess I was going to say, I think it was related to like the hair thing. I cut my hair and I haven't gotten my hair hasn't been cut by somebody who like actually has a certification to cut hair since 2009. So I've been cutting like, my own hair since then. And every time the last couple of times that I've cut it,
yeah,
you know how you see those videos where you watch people who like cut their hair and like it ends up being like this big like massacre, and then they have like these big meltdowns about like their hair getting cut. So like I've come to realize that I have like it was like that I guess a little bit at first. Like it was a big emotional thing. The first time I cut my hair short when I was we were going to college. I was gonna change my identity. We talked about like the big thing that happened to us or that happened, and like I was like, I need something. And I felt really weird about it at first, and I felt like I was like getting rid of my identity. I spent so many years like dyeing my hair.
Oh yeah, you
like,
dyed your
doing stuff to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never really cut it. And like now, so that hurricane happened on Tuesday, and I was like, all right, like it's hot, it's summer, like I need to do something. And I was like, I'm cutting my hair.
Yeah. Okay.
And now it's like a liberating thing for me to do for myself. And like I have those moments where I'm like, oh God, like I'm cutting it. Oh God, like what is this gonna do? How am I gonna look? And I worry about it. But like I want to know like what, because you got your hair cut recently too.
Yeah, and like now it's long again, so I need to get another haircut.
What? I don't know. Do you go through like the same things with like your hair?
Absolutely. Well, so I always get the same haircut though. It's like my thing. Like I always get it just like layered and just short or whatever. But when we were younger, I feel like not even just hair, just like changing my style, like just seemed like why would you do that? Or like that would like it'd be weird for people to see you in a different like style or whatever. So like going to college and like revamping whoever I wanted to be or whatever was super easy because no one knew you in college. But even with hair, sometimes I'm like, don't want to change my haircut, and like sometimes like no, like it works for me. Like why change it? But I get it. I totally get it. It's like, but then when you do it, it's just like, oh, this seems so much better. Like why did I?
And like, it's like it's so good for your hair. Yeah. It's so good for your hair, and like it just, especially with like how insane my hair gets, it's like it definitely needs it. But I guess the thing that like I don't put. So let's talk. Do you remember how in high school I used to like plaster my hair to my head? Do you remember that?
We all did.
And like that was like the 90s thing. Like we would plaster our hair to our head. Like my hair had to be super straight. And like now people look at my hair.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just love that. I guess that like curve that we go through of like the way that we like redefine what like our hair does for us, or like what it can be. Like how it doesn't have to define you and you can define it. And like I work with a lot of teenagers now, and like they're all into like dyeing like the bottom hair, like the bottom half of their hair. I remember we used to do that. And just like all these things that they do to their heads. And I was thinking to myself like how liberating to me it is to cut my hair, and how I don't think the way that my hair looks says anything about like who I am.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's
right? I feel like
if you wear it naturally, it's your hair. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah, and I feel like so much of the time it's like the biggest like encourager for me to cut it was just because like it's hot as hell outside and I'm at like camp all day, so I was like, I just need it to be not in my face. You know what I mean? I need it to be back and short and not have to deal with it. And it feels like
now it's just out of practicality. Like
where you like that, and that's a transition I guess I'm like getting to. Is like you start to transition from like my hair defines who I am to my hair is on my head. And like sometimes I like to make it look nice, but other than that, it's like really honestly just in my way. Like I literally sometimes have daydreams about.
Which is why my hair is always up, because it's just like I don't need this.
Right. It becomes a lot
right now.
It becomes a lot.
And my hair is so thick. Like, you know, like how thick my hair is. It's so thick that I'm just like, I just need it out of my face. Maria's
hair could be curtains. Like you don't need curtains.
It's a blessing.
Just hang Maria's hair in front.
It's a blessing.
It's some of the thickest hair I've ever seen.
It's so much during the summer that I just always have it up now. And then in the winter, I'm just like, it's cold.
And like I feel like too, like, your mom has like beautiful long hair. Like, did she ever does she still have long hair? Is it still super long?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she ever, like, was that ever a conversation? Like, does she feel any type of way about your hair? Like, I'm so, like.
Oh my God. She's like, so my hair has turned wavy as I've gotten older. It's not straight anymore. And like, it's super thick still. And, this is so, like, colonial, like, Asian, whatever, but the straighter your hair, the better it looks. Like, that's a whole different cultural thing.
I don't know if that's just, but I understand.
Not. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's still super prevalent in the Philippines.
Relating
so my hair is now wavy. My hair is wavy and thick. So when my dad had hair, that's how his hair texture.
When my dad had hair. I love that.
If you saw pictures of him as like a teenager, like early 20s, whatever, 30s, fucking afro, like thick, like, and just wavy hair. So she has an issue with my hair when it's like not straight. But now recently though, she has, like, she's seen it wavy when I have it down, and she's like, oh, your hair looks nice. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, now it's like weird because like now she's like accepting it, so like, I don't know, it's like weird. But like my mom does have naturally straight, like pin straight hair.
Yeah, and it's super
still long.
I don't know how. I remember like sometimes I'd see her brush it, and I'd sit there and think like, this is like, that's a full job. Like, that's a full job.
It is. And all she has to do is like blow dry it out, and it's like straight. I'm like, I wish that was me, but like my hair used to be straight when I was a kid until like, I don't know, college.
Yeah, you used to have super straight hair. It's so funny. I feel like those are the things I wish I learned. Like, I used to freak out about my hair. Like, it has to be straight. It has to be this. It has to be that.
Well, this comes from my mom too, and how she treats her
hair.
Right.
Right. Oh, well, same.
Thing. Yeah.
It's all learned. But like, and I think so much of that. So my father, I love that you brought up afros, because that was my dad. and like sometimes even now when he grows his hair out, he still gets like a little bit of afro before he has to get a haircut. Like,
my dad wishes he just grows hair out.
Oh yeah. My dad can lend him some. But I feel like that was the thing too. Like this is gonna end up like not being a conversation, but being a conversation about parenting. But like how we like transfer ourselves onto our kids, right? So me growing up, my mom has very different hair than me because I have my dad's hair. So my mom has very thin hair. Like my mom's hair was often very straight. So like when I was little, she used to like what the heck was her name?
Oh God.
I see her in front of my face. Shirley Temple curl my hair.
Oh, okay.
Like
Jesus.
Boop,
yeah.
Like it would rebound.
You just like
bouncy,
it bounces.
And then as I started, like when the transition started to happen where I got older and I had to manage my hair, and we went through like the 90s phase, where like early 2000s, where everyone's hair was like Rachel from Friends straight, right?
Yeah.
And like, so I used to straighten the crap out of my hair, and it was so wavy and like so frizzy.
I straighten my hair now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so much, and I was I never liked it. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't stand, and that's why I used to like plaster it to my head, and then like all of those years of dancing didn't help because I didn't have a choice, and I had to plaster it to my head. And it wasn't until
it destroys your hair.
College, right? It does. That's why my hair like could never just curl; it would just go.
Yeah,
it would just frizz.
Yeah.
And well, and this could lead into a whole conversation about nutrition, but it's fine. It wasn't until I got to college and I literally did not have the time to think about what was on my head.
Yeah.
That I would start like putting my hair up in my buns, and then I would take it down, and then I would get the, wow, your hair looks really nice. And I still sit back. I still sit back to this day. Like I had to curl it yesterday because we went somewhere, but this is just, my hair got wet. This is what happens to it. And when I don't do stuff to my hair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like, the straightening thing is getting way too old. Even for me, I don't want to do it anymore.
The natural hair, like I have big, like, this is where I always think about like the 80s and what it would have been like to live there, live then. But like I had like big like curls, and it wasn't until I stopped torturing my hair, like I thought that I was supposed to make it do something else. Like I thought that it wasn't right.
It's not working.
Right. And I used to get really frustrated when it didn't fit like that mold that I tried to make it fit into. But the whole point was that instead of listening to my hair and just trying to understand it better, I tried to force it into these other areas. And like, so it's funny now, going back to what, like my mother sees my hair, and like, as my mother watched me get older, she'd be like, where did you get your hair from? Like, because she starts to realize how different our hair is. Yeah. So like, if I leave it down and I let it be curly, like she still sometimes would be like, oh, you should straighten it. My mother tried to remember those days in high school, my mother used to like chase me around with sun in and like try to get me to make my hair blonde. Like, but she looks at my hair when I don't do anything to it, and she's like, oh wow, your hair looks really nice. And I'm like, she's like, what did you do to it? And I'm like,
I let it be.
But it's like it's that irony that like once you stop over like being overly
making your
obsessed
hair
with
something else, yeah,
and you just like appreciate it and let it do what it wants to do, like, and I feel like that happens with so many things.
With so many things in life. But you know what's really funny? Me and my mom had an argument literally yesterday about my hair.
I love this.
Like in the car. Or the other day. It wasn't yesterday or the day before or whatever. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just leave it be because I have to. Like, if I brush it out, forget it. It gets all frizzy. So, like, I can't do anything. She's like, no, your hair used to be so straight. I'm like, how changed? Like, I don't know what to tell you. This was literally like 2 days ago. So this is so funny.
I love it. But it just, I'm super thinking about it. Because then I was also contemplating, like, shaving all the bottom off, because that's the most annoying part of it when you put it up and then you're like,
Aaron just did it. Aaron does it during summer.
That's what I want to do.
Her hair though is like my mom's, where it's just straight. Me and Kate have my dad's side of the family, so
got all those extra kinks going on.
Yeah, so but Aaron has shaved like just the undercut. It's very refreshing, she says. So
I'm so jealous. I honestly, next time you see me, I might just do it.
Just do it.
Here's my issue though.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't want to deal with.
The questions?
If I do it now, right?
Yeah.
Then I have to like maintain it, right?
Yeah.
If I do it now and then I have to grow it back, here's the long term of where I'm looking. Me in wedding photos with the bottom of my head shaven and the conversation with my mother. All of those put together is so what I don't want to do.
Hold this off until
I'll wait until after. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I can cut it. I can keep cutting it short and then it'll just grow back. That's fine. But like, if I go into my wedding and my hair is like pink,
like an awkward length.
Then I won't be able to do what I want to it. So post wedding, the day after we get married, the first thing that Dan will do is
just undercut.
Okay. I've gotten, thankfully to quarantine, I've learned a really good new skill. I've gotten really good at cutting Dan's hair. So like, I'm not afraid to do it.
Yeah, a lot of my girlfriends have like cut their significant others' hairs, and they all look pretty good. Like, except for the top part, like everyone's so scared to like do the top portion, but like the sides and the back.
Yeah, like because once you have the guider, but that was the only nice thing. I tried to get Dan to reciprocate and like trim, because it's really hard to get like the back of my head. And I tried to have him do it for me, because I do the top of his too. Thankfully, everything that I've done to my hair, I can do his and layer it. And I tried to get him to just help me. I was like, I held it, and I was like, just cut it. And he literally held the scissor there for 2 seconds. He's like, I don't know why you want me to do this. This is not a good idea. And I was like, you already cut a straight line. Just cut the line. And he was like, I can't do this. And I was he was like, why are you asking me to do this? I was like, because I trust you, and kind of also because I've set it up for you. Right. I've kind of just set it up for you. Literally just have to close the scissors from you. Please just cut it. And he wouldn't do it. But it does. Like, hair is such a thing.
It's a big thing.
But I'm also very fortunate too, because like, it's curly, so like even when I straighten it, if it gets messed up a little bit, like it hides, I hide it.
Yeah.
But hair is always just a fun, I feel like it's such an interesting thing to discuss. If you could have your hair be any color and be like, yes, would you dye it a different color?
If I didn't have my profession and I could dye my hair a different color?
Yes, if we lived in a world where we could do whatever we wanted.
If we lived in a world where tattoos, hair color, and like piercings weren't like like a restriction on your job, search,
Right.
I would have all the tattoos. My hair color? I don't know. Although, like, an ashy gray has been, like, a thing that, like, I've been seeing.
You would look so cool with that hair color.
Sorry, but I can't. I know,
like
I wish.
That, like the... I see it. I see it in front of
me. You can see it, right?
Describe
like,
it.
Yeah, I can't describe. It's like ashy gray, but not like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's gray, but like not gray. Not like I don't know.
I can see it. I can see it.
Kate wants to dye her hair. She's been dyeing her hair. She wants to dye it red, I think.
Like red?
Not like that red, but like I think she wants to dye it that red so that fades out into like a more subdued red.
Oh, that sounds about right. That was what I was doing when I was her age.
I know.
Dan's sister has a new hair color every week.
Really? Is it like a temporary? It's not like what?
No,
like dye.
We've had conversations about how to make sure she's taking care of it so that she actually has hair on her head by the time she's our age.
Oh wait, Kate has done gray. I just remembered.
The gray?
Kate and Ashley last year had the same hair color, and it was like an ash gray, and I was like I'm jealous. I'll just live through the.
Well, no, it's just a good. I mean, if your sister does it, that's the closest like relationship.
I know, so I'm like, hey, yeah, live your life. I'll live it through you.
Yep. That's what ends up happening. But no, I think that's the only reason why I haven't dyed my hair in such a long time, because the more you learn about what's in it, the more you're like, probably shouldn't do this to myself.
Yeah. I mean, with
anything. Yeah, there are like good alternatives. It's just like, have you heard of like the blocks, the hair dye blocks, like the vegan dye blocks? Like, yeah, like I feel like that's the thing that I miss. But I feel the one thing that's been taming me is that I have to keep saying like you have to take wedding pictures next year. You have to take wedding pictures. So it's good for me to have a leash.
Good.
Otherwise,
forget it. Otherwise, during COVID, forget it.
Yep. That's that is one of the hardest things. Like, it's nice to be a creative person and have it be like an outlet. But then it's like once you start down the path, it's just like tattoos. Like once you start down the path, like you're gone. You're a goner.
And that's why, and like, granted, I'm 27 now, but my parents are like, do not get a tattoo because you're gonna get like 6. So I was like, yeah, I have like 6 planned already, and they're like freaking out. They refused for me to get a tattoo. It's annoying. But I was like, once I move out, I'm not under your roof.
Yeah. Yes. You could just do what I did. My first one I asked, and then all the other ones I took pictures after I got them. I was like, hey, look what I got. Or this one, the one that I got back here, I took, am I on the correct side of my head? I think so. The one that I got back there, I had my hair up at something, and it was like 6 months later.
Yeah.
And like my dad from like across like where the room for where we were like got closer to me and was like, what's that?
Did you get a tattoo again?
They've gotten to I feel like they're at a point of acceptance now.
Yeah, no, I feel like once I got my first one, because they okayed the first one. They're like, okay, one.
Solid.
So I was like, all right, if I get okayed for one, they're going to just be like, whatever for like the rest.
It's an okay. You can't turn the water on and then like be like, no, we're gonna take it back now. Like that's not how it works in these situations.
So I'm gonna get my first one and they can just deal with the 5 other that may come.
Yes.
One after the other.
I have to find out. The only thing that's been unfortunate is that so many of the places that I liked, like the person I've been going to, had to close their doors because of COVID. So if you are listening to this or you're watching this, and you are somewhere relative to Central New Jersey, and you know of an awesome place that can help me to encourage Maria to just go get hers and to be a place for me to go.
You and like 3 other people, like everyone just like just do it.
We'll all be there. We'll make it an episode.
Great. Oh God, let's not.
I don't know
if I deal with pain well is also a thing that I don't know about myself.
It's not painful though.
That's what I keep hearing. So I'm like, what? Like, I don't know if that's just like.
It's not pain.
It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing.
So I'm probably not the best person to talk to about this because apparently I'm one of those weird people who enjoys the feeling of it.
Okay. All right.
So it's like this intense vibration.
Oh.
And it feels like, it does feel like someone's like, it feels like someone's doing this and scratching you and it's shaking. And like you feel it like radiating through that spot. And apparently I'm a weird person and I like that feeling.
Some people like that feeling. Oh well.
Yeah.
Some people like the smell thing. So
right, exactly. So like I don't know if I'm the best person to like say that it doesn't hurt. But it does, I mean, if I got it, this place on my skull didn't hurt. Seriously. The only place that hurt was the back of my neck because it was like right on my vertebrae.
I can see that. And like I'm
just make sure that you eat something before you go, and that your blood sugar so you don't pass out.
That's what I hear too. I feel like I have every like to do thing to get a tattoo, like the day of the tattoo. So like I think I'm good. Like everyone from has had tattoos done has told me. Yeah. They're secret.
And once you do it, you'll be like, oh.
Right. Okay. And my tattoos, the ones that I want, are so small. Like they're not. It's gonna be like a 20-minute thing, if that.
That fits you. That makes sense.
Right.
They're gonna be very minimal. They're gonna be very simple and minimalistic. Yep.
Yeah. That's my life.
That all goes together. I mean, Dan, like you could do. I mean, like you're not doing. Dan literally was like, "I'm gonna get my first tattoo. It's gonna be a whole side piece." Like, boy, I didn't know what he was signing himself up for.
What did he get, or is he getting it soon?
Yeah, no, he has it.
I was like, oh my god, a whole side piece.
When did you get your first tattoo? What year was that? We're going back because that was the first guy that I got my, like 2014 maybe. Yeah, he got a whole side piece. That was his first one, and I tried to like warn him about what it was gonna be like. He was really good though. The only time he squeezed my hand was when they got like to his rib cage. He was like,
Well, that makes.
But it was like a multi-process. So.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I wouldn't recommend that.
No, I'm good.
But.
Yeah. I think my tattoos when I get them are gonna be all on my arms, except for my first one's gonna be over here.
So. Oh, well, that you're gonna feel that one.
This I'm gonna feel that, but like if this is the most painful, then like I'll just get over it.
Yeah, then you'll start at the top and just roll your way down.
Yeah, whatever.
It'll be fine. What? Okay, if we were gonna name this one, what would it be?
We talked about hair.
Rebelling and self-expression. I don't know.
Oh my god. It doesn't. We talk about hair. It doesn't have to be that deep.
I know.
Of a title. Talk about hair and tattoos and parenting.
Well, I mean, there's underlying reasons why we talk about all these things. Like parenting. Hair is just like the.
It was parenting. It's an underlying thing.
That's a consistent theme for us as well.
Yeah. The joys of parenting.
I was listening to I was reading. Sorry. I take a lot of stuff in and I don't know where I get stuff from.
Yeah.
From sometimes. I was reading did you start reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People yet?
Are you kidding?
Well, I'm going to talk about something I talk about at the end of the book, so now you have to read before that to get
That's fine. It's not, I don't mind.
They were talking about like one of the last little like subs about like sharpening the saw. It talks about how like you're influenced by previous generations, and it talks about like how you're we talked about this too, like how you're in like a key position to transition versus transfer.
Okay, yeah.
Like you could take all the stuff that's come before you and whatever's happened to your family and whatever has been done to you and transfer it to people that are like next of kin, or you can like take a moment and adjust and transition.
Okay.
And like be that difference.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
We're definitely there. I think we're there.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think we're transitioning.
Can you read that book, please?
I will. I have another book that my friend let me borrow, and it's a fiction book that I'm getting through first. So,
fun.
So once that's done, though it's very heavy though, so I have to put it down every like 50 pages or like 30 pages because like it's just like, so much. But so yeah, after that, maybe if I feel like it. I'm currently just watching like anime. Honestly,
I like to see your stories. They make me giggle.
Yeah, I finished one last night, like 12 episodes. It's just a 12-episode anime, and I just finished one today, another 12 episodes. So like, what am I doing with my life? They're 20-minute episodes. So I was like,
well, that's not that. Okay, that's not.
But still, it's just like, holy shit! I just finished another anime. Like, this is fucking embarrassing.
What animes are they?
They're different kinds. The last one I just watched is called The Promised Neverland or whatever. It's kind of like so they're kids in orphanages, but they find out like what the true real like background of the orphanage is, so they're trying to escape. So that was really good. That was 12 episodes and that was 20 minutes each on Hulu. Just saying. There's also horror in it too, so you might not like it. Yeah. And then the other one from the other day.
Well, if it's anime, I might be able to get through it.
But yeah, I think so. The other one I'm watching is about like it's a cooking anime. They're like in school for like to become a chef. It's so like there's nothing to think about. Like that's the thing. Like with books like I don't have space yet to like process like a book. So I'm just watching
especially
TV.
the Habits book.
Seven Habits.
It falls under like a self-development book, and like
that's a self-help book. Right, that's a self-help book, and like I don't know if I have the space for that right now.
Yeah, you gotta do a lot of work through that. So,
right, like I just finished therapy. Like I'm good for right now.
Yeah, put a pin.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Oh man. All right, well now I gotta get into anime. If you have any good anime that you can refer to,
what do you like?
Or I don't know.
What kind of anime do you? There's like.
What don't I like? I can't answer that question. If you ask me what kind of anime I like,
you like action, don't you?
Talk to like a super novice. Like I don't know.
I know, but like you like action, romance, drama. You hate horror, so forget horror. Sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Sci-fi.
I like those things.
Like see, like I can probably give you like 5 off the top of my head that are super short.
Short how? Like, do they tell a whole story? Like, am I gonna be
within 12 episodes? Within 12 or 24 episodes, usually.
Okay.
I'll give you a list later.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to know what it is, Maria will share it.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. There's a few on Netflix that are very good.
Okay, we can talk about those in a future episode. We're also going to bring on some more guests. Don't worry, if you enjoyed listening to us talk to other people and talk about other relative things. We have that in the works also.
So we have people in the works.
Yeah. Well, we'll look back at our chart now that we're back into doing this fully, but
yeah, we took a hiatus.
It was needed. Like all good things sometimes need a moment of pause. So it was okay. But we're back. Yeah. We're talking about whatever comes to the top of our heads because I like doing this. This is what we used to do. This is literally what our life was like. I would just walk over to your house and start talking, and then we just end up talking about something.
Right. Like last week, it was like a full hour of just nonsense.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I was watching it again, and I was like, okay, let's try to do a shorter one this week. So this is it.
That's it. And then next week we'll ramp back up.
Tell us about your hair experiences, your coming of age hair experiences, your tattoo experiences, your parent or parenting experiences.
That's traumatic for most people.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, or not. That's fine. Whichever.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And tell us what decades you wanted to live through.
All right, that was the conversation we had.
That was what led into all of this.
That was the conversation we had. Right.
Thanks for tuning into this episode. Go cut your hair and get a tattoo and watch some anime.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll talk to you guys on the next episode.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.